We are live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ALP1 podcast. I'm your host, Sidonian Muse. Joining me is my co-host, Golden Sniper, my Alpine teammate in NACS. Hello,
Where else
Golden.
would I be? Where else would I be, mate?
and tonight, Golden, we are doing our F1 driver ratings
Never gets old.
for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
That may have made it worse.
Yep. We did race 7. Race 7 of the season was at Jeddah yesterday night.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a very interesting race. It was a very interesting race.
Mm-hmm.
So going into it, we were very concerned because me and you both play on a controller, whereas basically everyone else who was there was playing on a wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeddah has notoriously been easily the toughest track in the past, like, free F1 games. Yeah, I'd say the past, like, free F1 games, at least, like, on a controller. It's definitely been, like, the toughest track.
Mm-hmm.
So some people would argue something like Japan because of Sector 1.
Mm.
But, like, the rest of Japan isn't that bad on a controller. Whereas Jeddah is just full of these super, like these really quick, you gotta make it rotate the car super fast, and it's like on a controller, you can't push as hard through the corner because you just don't got that rotation to go super fast through some of these quick little corners.
Mm.
But regardless, we did okay. We're still leading the constructors by 2 points over McLaren, so that's pretty hype.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and there was another new race winner, but we'll get to that later on.
Yawn.
When
can it be?
Another new race winner. Not their first race win ever, but like their first this season, I should say. Just to clarify, their first this season, but possibly their best race win they've ever had, though. Possibly, it's debatable. But without further ado, Golden, let's get into it. There's 9 drivers, so we don't got too many to do tonight. We only got 9 drivers. There were 11 that raced, but 2 of them will not be mentioned.
Absolutely not. I mean, I can mention one of them, but it's not going to be very inviting language. Also, Sling may bully me for it. Or just, I don't know. Yeah.
Our lawyers told us not to say anything about those 2 drivers.
Nope.
But let's get into it. So the first of the 9 drivers we got to talk about is Hollywood in the Haas. Well, he's in the Haas for now. I've heard some other teams might be trying to steal him away because he's coming to the league. He's only done, what is this? Yeah, this is only his 3rd race in the league now. But I feel like he's fit in perfectly. I think. I don't know how you feel about Mr. Hollywood, but I feel like he fits the vibe of the league perfectly. He never, if anything, he gets mad at himself. He never really gets too pissed off at anyone else. And he's just trying to improve, and it seems every week he's getting just a little bit better every week. And so, unfortunately, he did qualify in 9th in last, but then he finished the race in 8th, so he did get some points. He got some good points to show for it. And he did beat Vodka Victory.
He did it.
His 3rd race in the league, and he finished ahead of Vodka. So, yeah. But unfortunately, he did not beat his rival, though. He did not beat his rival Slingshot.
Unfortunate.
Womp womp. But, yeah, Mr. Hollywood, I personally went straight down the middle with Hollywood. I gave him a 5. I would have given him higher. I would have given him like a 6 or possibly even a 7, but he did, because he was doing really good. Like, for most of the race, he was doing really good. He was clear of Sling. Like, I'm pretty sure he was gone, man. I'm pretty sure he was way ahead of Sling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I could see it on the mini map. But then he hit the wall and caused that safety car at the end.
I wonder who was near that.
And now, you know, in the hindsight of the race, like obviously it was great from an entertainment perspective for the race, like a crazy ending to the race and like the standing changes, etc. But we're just talking about his performance, and that is a massive mistake that he made near the end of the race. Hitting the wall, completely losing his wing. So I can't give him a 6 or a 7. So that's why I've gone straight down the middle with a 5. But he also got really close to out qualifying. Him and Sling were really close in qualifying. Sling did do one last lap and beat him by 3/10, but like, hey, it's only his third race in the league, and he's already going toe to toe with Slingshot, who's been around the block for a while. So, and like I said, he finished ahead of Vodka, so I don't want to give him a bad rating because like finishing ahead of Vodka is no small feat, especially since like he did it on track, like and he had that penalty that he had to. That's also why I've given him a 5. I forgot to mention is that he could have actually beat Kogo as well, but he had an unserved 10-second penalty when he crossed the line. So he could have done even better. So yeah, I think we're gonna see more great things from Mr. Hollywood. What have you gone from Golden?
Personally, I've actually gotten. I think this is a bit more good cop, bad cop happening all over again. Apart from when I used to rank myself, I've actually gone for a 6. To be close to his rivals, standard stuff. But to actually beat Vodka in the race is definitely commendable, even with the little hiccups he's had. And it'll be good to see how well he improves next week at Austria.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we said everything we need to say about Mr. Hollywood. Moving on here now. Next up is Caleb Kogo Jr. in the Williams. Unfortunately, his teammate Orange wasn't here once again, but that's due to the fact that he's getting some stuff moved around with work. Basically, if he could have done the qualifying, but he wouldn't have had time to do the race. So yeah, he's trying to get some stuff moved around so that he can make all the races, which I hope he can, because Orange, if Orange is listening to this, which I hope he still tunes in and listens to these. I don't know if he does. But Orange, I think, has also been a great addition to the league. So I hope he can get his stuff sorted out and keep showing up.
And then I keep getting him
Exactly. We need Mr. Orange in the driver ratings, man. Come on.
Driver ratings.
I love when Vodka calls him fucking Apple. The Apple shit, man. That kills me.
It's amazing.
Oh my god. But yeah, back to his teammate, Kogo Jr. Qualified in second. He just barely missed out on pole over his father. His father just barely got him by a couple hundredths of a second. And he finished the race in fourth because he did get punted a couple times by someone that we will not mention.
I wonder.
Which wasn't his fault. He had to make up so many positions in the race. Before the safety car came out, he was actually climbing his way up to me. Now his tires might have burnt out by the end though, because he was on the medium. So like, and I was on the hard. So there's a chance like he would have stopped saving as much time as he was saving by the end, and wouldn't have got the position with me. But like, he would have no safety car. He still would have recovered back up with me. And fighting for like P4, fighting for P4 anyway. But then he got P4 because when the safety car came out, he never pit. He made the strategy blunder. He never pit for the softs. He should have pit for fresh softs, and he would have been fine. But I believe he also had time penalties anyway, though. So he probably wasn't gonna win regardless, or even get podium, because me and Great Ace didn't have any penalties. So yeah, it's hard to judge. But I've gone with an 8 for Caleb. For the reasons I said. Like, yeah, some of it wasn't his fault, but he also made his own mistakes. Like, he spun on his own, like right in front of Great Ace. He almost ruined Great Ace's race completely. So yeah, like, he did make mistakes, his strategy blunder. but I'm giving him an 8 because his pace was still incredible. He still almost got his first pole position. It was super close. He almost got pole. So his qualifying was phenomenal, and he was up there fighting for the podium for a lot of the race. He was up there with Pete and Kogo fighting with them. So I can't give him lower than an 8. I think an 8 is a very fair rating for what happened.
Yeah, I've also gone for an 8 as well. Basically, if you want to know what I have to say about it, copy and paste everything Sardonia Muse said and call it a day.
Yeah, I've actually been talking more than you right now in this episode.
Shock.
So I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you go first on the next one.
Okay.
The next one is Vodka Victory.
Whoa.
The sole Red Bull driver here who was at the race because his teammate Druply overslept. Apparently, is what I was told. The Red Bull did not give him wings.
Great.
So yeah, Vodka. He qualified 5th, so he had a pretty good qualifying. But then he finished 9th, so he basically finished last. Out of everyone who finished the race, he finished in last. So, and he made his own mistake with punting. He went for a stupid overtake and punted right into the side of you, which kind of ruined your race for most of it. So what have you gone for Mr. Vodka?
See, I was debating a 6, right? Because again, I don't want to be a cunt. Looking back on it though, you have missed out his little incident with Queso. I don't know if that's his fault or not. And then he probably caught him a couple other things as well. Quali was good by him. It was great. It's great to see him out qualify a couple of people who may or may not have been fucked over because we're on control of vodka. But yeah, quality was good from him. Race just couldn't really execute it. So enough waffling from me, and I've given him a 6.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think the thing with Queso at the end, definitely messed him up for sure. Otherwise he could have gained a couple spots, I think. Especially with the incident that happened to Kogo. Yeah, he definitely could have gained a couple spots. If you want to.
I don't know. Because the way he acted on the mic right after he played me into the wall was not very nice. So
how about I say what I gave him?
Go on.
I gave him a 5.
Yep.
I gave him a 5. Like you said, if it weren't for the incident with you, I probably also would have gave him a 6. I probably would have gave him a 6, but or even leaning on a 7, but I don't think it would have been a 7 anyway because it's Jeddah. This used to be one of Vodka's best tracks. I expect better from him here at this particular track. But yeah, I would have gave him a 6, but he fucked your race over, so I lowered him to a 5.
Oh, the Alpine bias comes in.
Has to, man.
God damn it. Oh, well, I'm waiting for my 9. I'm kidding.
Okay. So, all right. So we'll move on from Vodka. Round of the big free teams now. The free teams that were the top 3 teams last season, and they're the exact same top 3 teams this season.
Yep.
Which is why they're changing.
Boring.
They're changing after the season.
Boring.
But Ferrari are coming back. Ferrari just had a banger of a weekend, so we're gonna get into Ferrari first, who used to be Mercedes last season, and that is Pete and Slingshot. Starting off with Mr. Slingshot, who we've been given a lot of shit on these podcasts, but I'm actually gonna gas him up here. So he qualified 8th, so he outqualified his rival Hollywood, and then he finished P5. Slingshot finishing in the top 5.
Shit.
making it a double top 5 finish for Ferrari. So Ferrari are now they're only like 50 points behind the constructors, so anything can happen. They're only like one, so basically like one race. Basically, we Alpine and McLaren have like a one race lead on Ferrari, but it's still a long season to go. So Ferrari are definitely not out of contention now. That's for sure. They definitely needed that, and Slingshot delivered. Now he did make. When I get into my rating here, because do you want me to give mine for Sling first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Because this might be one we might disagree on a little bit, but so Sling did make his own mistakes in the race. He did went off track in sector 1, and all that, and his pace wasn't very good for a lot of the race, but he benefited off of the chaos around him, and so I can't fault him for that. I can't hold that against him in a negative way, because I mean I did the same thing. I benefited off the chaos around me, so I think Sling optimized everything he could at the end. The fact that he, yes, Kogo was in the incident, but he still finished ahead of Kogo. He still finished ahead of Vodka. He still finished ahead of yourself. So, for that alone, I have to give Sling. I'm finally giving Sling a good rating after all this time on this podcast, kind of backing on him. Past couple episodes. I'm giving Sling a 9 out of 10. I wanted to give him a 10 so badly, but some people doubt. I know what this man is capable of, and there's going to be other races. There's going to be another race this season where he gets a 10. I'm telling you right now, but this isn't the one, because other than the late, I can't give him a 10 just because other than that late safety car, the rest of his race wasn't very good. Like he was making mistakes and he wasn't driving very good. So I just can't give him a 10, but every fiber of my being wants to give the man a 10, but I can't. So it's a 9 out of 10 for Sling. Like I'm sorry, but like that's still amazing though. 9 out of 10. Like well done to Sling. 10, his best finish of the season so far. So like that's why I'm giving him a 9. What have you gotten for Sling?
Oh, controversial shit, eh? I know he's not the quickest Donny around the block, as you would say. He did only beat his rival, coming was I think second last in quali. Like you said, the rest of his race, I didn't really think he had that much pace, maybe, and he did make a couple mistakes here and there. But like you also said, he benefited really well from that late safety car to push him up, and everything. So I don't want to be a complete arsehole, Sling. I am still very happy that you got the top 5, and it's a great result for Ferrari. But unfortunately, due to the pitchfork in my throat from my teammate, I've gone for a 7, which is still very good.
I was hoping you were at least going to give him an 8. Fuck. Shitty. Shitty.
If he had qualified a little bit better, that's definite 8 for me. But yeah.
For me, it's not even his quality, because Sling's not really a quality person anyway. Like Sling is all about the race pace, but it's the fact that he didn't even drive flawlessly in the race either. Like he was making a lot of mistakes. Like if he drove a flawless race, like I probably would have given him a 10. But he just didn't. Like, And I've seen it, and like I said, I've seen him get podiums. He's gotten multiple podiums in this league before.
Monaco.
Yeah, I mean that's the perfect example. He got P2 at Monaco last season. I mean that's
the last,
that's
the
last
a 10, of the finishing drivers. Solid. No, I'm kidding. 10. Sling's getting a 10 that race. Can we what's the word? We need to do it post. You do it post like fucking. It's not posthumous, because that means you're fucking dead. We'll come back to that after.
Ratings for last season.
Yeah.
If it's ratings for last season, I definitely get a 10 at China.
10s.
I get a 10 at China for winning by like 15 seconds.
Do I get a 10 at Monaco for winning by 37?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I gave Mr. Dan, I let off for 3 seconds to let Mr. Dan get a final lap in, too.
You shouldn't have.
That's how big the gap was at that China race. No, I know, because I did, man. I felt bad for him. He got fucked over by Great Ace. So I felt bad. I was like, yeah, come on. Take that fastest. Well, yeah.
He didn't take
That was
those
when
lap.
fastest lap points. That's when fastest lap points counted. Now they don't count. Now they don't count. So like I probably wouldn't have done it now because it wouldn't matter now anyway. But
fraud
anyway.
my way to another point.
Anyway, enough about last season and go on for fucking an hour about last season.
Yep.
Yeah, just gassing ourselves up, but yeah, good stuff to slingshot.
Yep.
7 and a 9.
Average of 8.
On average, an 8, average of 8.
Still good.
Good for Sling. Good for Sling. I'm happy for him. Finally got a good rating. And now his teammate Pete the Newfeet. This is also one of his favorite tracks.
Pete the Newfeet.
From what he's told me. From what he's told me, this is one of Pete's favorite tracks. Jeddah. He's always loved this one. He won one of his first ever league races. I'm pretty sure it was one around here. So yeah, he's a big fan of this one. Qualified third and finished third. The reason he finished third and not second was because he had a time penalty. Otherwise, he would have finished second ahead of me. So that was kind of his own mistake there, getting that time penalty. So because of that, just like his teammate, I've also given Pete a 9 out of 10. I once again, I can't give him a 10 because he made his own mistakes there. He got the time penalty. He should have had P2. Or even better, he should have had P1 because, like I said, Great Ace was nowhere near him in terms of. Now, yes, he was involved in the incident at the end with Kogo, but that wasn't Pete's fault. I'm not holding that against him. And like he was still way faster than Sean for most of the race, so he should have. By all accounts, Pete should have won that race technically. But Great Ace just drove perfectly. Like if Great Ace, if this was like a regular Great Ace weekend, Pete wins that race. So like I can't be too hard on Pete. So that's why I've still given him a 9 out of 10 because qualifying third is amazing. Just behind the 2 Kogos, and then fighting with the 2 Kogos for most of the race, and then getting his I can't blame him for getting his elbows out with Kogo. He's fighting for the championship. He now also leads the championship. We got to make that clear as well. Pete now leads the championship by 1 singular point over Kogo. So I got to at least give him a 9. I can't give him any lower than a 9. It's not a 10 though because he lost. He got beat by someone on a controller at fucking Jeddah. Like I can't give him a 10.
It's crazy.
But it's a 9.
Yep. See, I've actually gone one lower. I've gone for an 8. Gel. I know. Like you said, he made his own mistakes, and those mistakes ended up costing him a better position. Plus, like you said, he lost to a controller player, Pete. So yeah.
But there's
no coming back from that.
Is that?
Yep.
What we're learning, because me and you had a big chat before we started this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What we're learning is that all these instances of people losing points, we're only 7 races in, and there's so many instances of people losing points that are totally gonna affect their final result in the standings by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. So
like you might think, losing, he lost 3 points to Kogo because Muse finished ahead of him 1 race. That's not a big deal. Like that's only 3 points, but man, it adds up. Like I said, Caleb has thrown away like 2 or 3 race wins. Like Caleb would have an extra 20 points right now if he had nailed those race wins.
I would have had 12.
Or like if Pete hadn't drove into Kogo at Spa, if Pete hadn't had to retire from the race at Spa, Pete Pete would be leading the championship by way more right now. So like everybody so far has these moments where they could have done better, but they all like Great Ace made his mistakes at Australia. I got fucked. My connection was absolutely garbage at Monaco, and I had no pace in the wet Dakota. Like everyone's had their mistakes up at the end. So like that's why I can't give Pete a 10. And I understand you. I understand you giving him an 8. But I've given him a 9. I've given him the same as his teammate. I just don't want to. I guess your rating for Sling was different anyway. But because I gave Sling a 9, I just didn't want to give Pete a lower rating than Sling. If that makes sense. Yep. So that's why I've given them both Ferraris a 9. I think it was an exceptional weekend for Ferrari. This is what we needed to see from them. So we'll see if they can carry that into the future races this season. But yeah, respectable. 9 and 8 for Pete. So 8.5 average for Pete from that race. Next, we're on to the McLarens. Let's start off with the easiest. When I was doing my ratings, the easiest rating of the whole fucking thing. Great Ace. Qualified 4th behind the 2 Kogos and Pete because he was actually back. I don't know if you remember. He was actually back with us in qualifying, and then he put in one final like really good lap. They got him up there at the very end of qualifying. So he put it in when it mattered. So Grace qualified 4th, and then he won the fucking race, his first race of the season. And keep in mind, like I said, Caleb spun out in front of him during the race. He had wing damage. He had to pit and fix that wing damage. And he still won the fucking race. He also had fastest lap at that point too. Just want to say that too. Great Ace had fastest lap during the middle of that race when everyone was going around just doing their laps. Great Ace had the fastest lap. I know that doesn't mean anything anymore, but his pace was astonishing. Like I said, if he hadn't caught, I undercut him by 4 seconds. So if he didn't have the pace he did, he would have been behind me for the safety car restart, and he probably wouldn't have won the race. I probably would have won the race. But because his pace was so good, he was able to catch me and overtake me. So then when the safety car restart happened, he was ahead of me and could just go on his merry way and not be stuck behind me or Pete or anything like that, right? He was ahead of us because his pace was just that good. And he didn't make any mistakes of his own. Like the thing with Caleb, shit happens, He's just lucky he didn't get rear wing damage, because if that did, that would have ruined his race completely. But, he didn't make any mistakes. I've seen him make mistakes around this track multiple times. He usually has had some bad races where he's crashed around here, and thrown away points. But Great Ace won the fucking race, his first race win of the season. I mean, come on, it's a fucking 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
What did you give him?
Mate, 10s all round. What more can you say? Won the fucking race. Qualified well, won the race. Fuck you. Who gives a shit about his mistakes? Move on, next person, 10.
Yeah. Yeah, new race winner for the season. Yeah, I hope yeah, now we wait Caleb. That's what I was just about to say. I hope Caleb wins a race soon, because the fact that me and Great Ace have won races before Caleb is actually astonishing.
Poor lad.
It's actually astonishing.
I feel bad.
It should not. Yeah, it should not happen. But yeah, shout outs to Great Ace. Also, one of the best pop offs. Probably the best pop off of the season so far, in my opinion.
I mean,
yeah. What else can you? And I know there was some safety car intervention, and there was the incident with Kogo and Pete. But who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck?
He put himself in the position to win the race. That's like when George Russell won at Austria last season. You have to give George a fucking 10. Just because Max and Lando hit each other, that doesn't mean George doesn't get a 10. You still give George a 10. He won the fucking race. So, yeah, good stuff, Great Ace. Good shit, brother. Awesome. And then on to his teammate Kogo. who qualified on pole, but unfortunately finished in 7th place, just ahead of Hollywood. And the only reason he finished ahead of Hollywood was because Hollywood had that penalty. Otherwise, he actually would have finished. He actually would have finished 8th, behind Hollywood and you and Sling.
Mm-hmm.
But if it wasn't for that late safety car, Kogo was leading the race. Like, he would have won easily if that last safety car didn't come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was the fastest driver on track, so I can't. And like I said, he got pole. He was doing good until that final safety car. I can't hate on him too much. What have you given Kogo before I say my rating?
Pace or weekend was, Kogo standard, normal shit. Did get in a couple incidents, normal shit. But yeah, towards the end, it really dropped off hard. Maybe no fault of his own, but you got to do what the data tells you. And from what I looked at in the entire race, I was really debating giving him higher. But unfortunately, and I know there's going to be more pitchforks in my head than when I gave Sling. I've given Kogo a 7.
Okay, I've personally given Kogo an 8.
Mm.
So we're actually around the same on him, honestly. Mm. I was debating a 7, but I gave him an 8 because I wanted to have a bit more respect for the fact that, like, what happened wasn't any fault of his own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't blame him. Some people would say, "Oh, why didn't he?" When he saw Pete alongside him on turn 3, like, why didn't he just back out of it? Why did he try to, like, defend? Because he wasn't thinking about the kick Saber, he was defending because he saw Pete on his right. Like, why didn't he just let Pete get the position and then, try to re-overtake him? But there's only 3 laps left of the race. He's fighting for, not only is he fighting for a race win, he's fighting for, like, lead of the championship with Pete. Like, he doesn't want to give the position. So, like, I understand him, like, because Pete wouldn't have given him an inch either. So, like, I'm not holding that incident against him in his rating at all.
Mm.
I think he drove brilliantly other than what happened. But at the end of the day, I can't give him higher than an 8 because he did finish behind Sling and Golden and me.
Control
at a track. Yeah, at a track where it's one of his best tracks now. Maybe he does more deserve a 7, but I've given him an 8 because I feel bad for him because it's one of his best tracks. His pace was fucking astonishing. And his day just got completely ruined by someone who had no business being on that grid in the first place.
He who shall not be named.
So, yeah, he who shall not be named. So, like, yeah, I guess I just feel I want to still give him a good rating. I gave him an 8 because I just feel bad for Kogo because, yeah, his championship is. I mean, I know he's only 1 point behind Pete, but, like, he really needs a win right now. Like, his championship is kind of falling apart at the moment. Ever since he won Coda, and ever since Pete did the mind games to him at Monaco, it's been fall. It's like Pete's been on the up and Kogo's been on the down. Like, the past 3 races have been terrible for him. So, yeah, he needs to bounce back he needs to start bouncing back, or else
shit's in the fan.
It's gonna, yeah, championship's gonna fall apart for him. But yeah, so 8s and 7 for Kogo, respectable. And now to wrap things up, we're on to ourselves, the Alpine duo, who were Ferrari last season. We made Ferrari great again, and now we're trying to make Alpine great again.
Yawn, you guys go through this every weekend. Get on.
Previous Constructors champions now leading the Constructors Championship again.
Yep. Can't keep going.
So, let's start off with Mr. Golden Sniper.
Monaco winner, by the way. 100% podium rate.
That is true. 100% podium rate. Mr. Golden Sniper, who qualified 7th, and he finished 6th in the race. Unfortunately, this was not a race to remember for you. You kind of just got fucked the whole time. But at the same point, some people will argue and they'll say, "Hey, qualifying that bad, you put yourself in that." And now I can't say like I qualified bad too, but like you put yourself at risk, of
a very
by qualifying.
Score. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like keep my rating. Like I'm not trying to be too harsh or anything, but like because I'm usually the one who's more positive towards you in the rating. Like my rating for you is usually way higher than what your rating is for yourself. But the gap in qualifying is also
worrying.
That definitely plays into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know we were both fucked at that track, but like I feel like I got the most out of it. But I feel like you just couldn't really get much out of it in quali. But so I've actually gone for. I think this might be the lowest rating I've given you so far. I think it is
because you just slapped me with 9s and 8s and everywhere.
Yeah. Because you've done pretty good in the season, other than when you ran out of fuel at Spa, but we didn't do driver ratings for that one.
We didn't give a shit. We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that.
We don't talk about that one.
No,
okay.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one.
On this podcast, it didn't happen.
I've gone with a 6 out of 10.
Ooh. Stinger.
For Golden. I know it hurts, but I think this is just a race to forget for you, and you just got to move on and just remember that this is your worst track. Like that was easy. Like the only other track that's going to come as close to that is Imola. I think later in the season. I don't think there's going to be any other tracks as bad as that. So, and again, it's still not a terrible result. Like that's why I've gone with a 6. Like you still got, you can multiple. There's other people who in your position would have quit the race, would have rage quit the race, would have said fuck this, my race is over, I'm out, or
names.
But you stuck through it and you got rewarded because, like I said, you still finished ahead of Kogo in the end because he got fucked. But then you also got fucked multiple times in that race. And because of that, we're still leading the championship. So, like, I can't give you a bad rating, which is why I've given you a 6. But I do feel like this was easily your weakest weekend of the season so far. Even if you counted like if we had done ratings for Spa and Abu Dhabi, like I still probably would have given you 7, like at least 7s, if not 8s for both of them. So that's why I've gone with a 6 here, because I feel like out of the first 7 races, this has definitely been your weak qualifying pace alone, because you're usually way faster than me on this game. So for me to be like that far ahead of you in qualifying, I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Someone's struggling.
What is going on? Yeah, someone's struggling this week, but it's okay. You'll do better at the next one. You'll probably fucking out-qualify me by. You'll out-qualify me by 2nd in the next one, so it's okay. So
2. I'm kidding.
Yes. So I've gone with a 6. What did you give yourself?
I also gave myself a 6. I know the whole rating thing doesn't tell the whole story, considering there's people who shall not be named. Yeah, just a very unlucky weekend for Mr. Golden Sniper. Why am I talking in the third person? I'm literally right here. I don't know. But yeah, very just it was in my mind a weekend on the F1 calendar, and that is all I'm going to say. Got fucked up by one driver who shall not be named, and one driver who also shall not be named, but was in a Mercedes. Yeah, I felt the pace on my pace of the hards was a little bit better than on the mediums, but then again, I didn't really do much with it, to be honest. People around me did die, and I made the blunder at the end to not go on the softs.
Yeah, fair. I mean, we both gave you a 6, so Yeah, I feel like it was a 6. It was between a 6 or a 7, I think. For sure. I didn't want to go any lower than that. I'm just doing something here real quick before we get into the final person.
Still writing big dick amuse.
Instead of anyway, okay. That's the word. Yeah, and the final person, me. I also had a pretty bad qualifying. Qualified 6th. I mean, I technically qualified ahead of everyone who was on a controller. If you take that into account, and by a lot.
Yeah.
So I think I actually showed controller ahead of me. But yeah, I qualified 6th, and then I finished P2. P2 on a controller at Jeddah. Technically, my second P2 at Jeddah. In the first season of the assists, I also had a P2 at Jeddah. So once again, but I'm not complaining at all because I expected myself. I was just trying to get a top 5. That was my goal for this weekend. I said to Pete, I was like, I'm just trying to get top 5 at Jeddah. It's one of my worst. Not only is it hard on controller anyway, it's also one of my worst tracks in general. Like, it's definitely a bottom 3 track for me. It's probably there with like Mexico and Imola. But even Mexico and Imola, I've showed good pace in qualifying. But like, Jeddah's definitely my worst track for qualifying, at least. Maybe not for race pace, but definitely for qualifying is Jeddah. And then we got into the race. You know, I don't even Muse. He outqualified his teammate.
More
he finished ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, fuck it.
Like
when 12 rounds.
And it looked like I was for most of the race. It looked like I was fighting for P4. I went for the one-stop strategy. I managed my tires really well. Like I said, I undercut Great Ace by 4 seconds. So like I managed my tires well on that medium stint, and then I was in the middle of doing the hard stint before the safety car came out. And it looked like I was basically fighting for P4, is how it looked to me. But then the safety car came out and that changed everything, and then there was the incident, and I was really fast on the softs at the end, and I got past, Kogo Jr. went wide and made a mistake, and I got past him. And then Pete had the time penalty, so I jumped Pete. So I didn't have any time penalties at a track that's very easy to get time penalties in that first sector. I don't know if people are aware of that, but Sector 1 Jeddah, they're easy to get warnings at if you're not careful. No time penalties, great tire management, got a P2 on, like I said, possibly one of, if not my worst track in the game. It has been my worst track in like the past. I mean, I guess over you could say Monaco, but like that's a different. I feel like that's a different kind of track though. That's a different kind of beat. That's not really about pace. That's more so about like, touching walls. But in terms of pace, like so to still come out with a P2 and only be 7 points behind the leader in the drivers' championship. Out of all that is pretty fucking crazy. I mean, your reaction after the race kind of said it all, didn't it?
You fucking.
So that's why I've given myself. This is basically all my justification to say I've given myself a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I cannot give I can't give myself a 10 because the qualifying was bad. The qualifying was bad. Can't give myself a 10, but I'm fucking giving myself a 9 for getting a P2 at fucking Jeddah. Absolutely. I mean, some would say it's an 8. Some would say it's an 8, and I would understand. But I'm backing myself. I'm giving myself a 9 because it was a fucking. I mean, I beat Pete and Caleb. I beat Pete and Caleb. That's why I think it's at least a 9. I finished ahead of Pete and Caleb, who were both fighting for the podium, and then I came out of nowhere and got P2. Yeah, I think that was a great drive. That's why I give myself a 9. I think that's one of my best drives of the season so far, to be honest.
No, you had a really good weekend, dude. Quality went a little bit better, but like you said, race was just amazing. I will say one thing, that you mentioned people giving you 8s, and I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but I may or may not have been one of them, and I may or may not have given you an 8, so please don't stab the pitchfork any closer to my throat.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, I definitely did benefit from the safety. That is understandable, because I did benefit greatly from the safety car at the end. Um, otherwise I would have finished fourth. It would have been like qualified sixth, finished fourth. Which definitely would have been an 8. I guess, like I said, I'm just taking into account the fact that it's Jedi on a controller and these guys are on a wheel, and
yawn, more complaining, yawn.
most of the race, like they were in their own, like the three of them were fighting for the win. I was nowhere near them, but then I got them at the end just because of consistency more than any. It had nothing to do with pace. It had to do with consistency. The fact that I didn't have penalties, I didn't fuck up at all. I kept my nose clean. I didn't get in. I mean, vodka tap tires, but that was it. So yeah, 8 out of 9. I'll take it. Brother at Jeddah, I will take fucking. I thought we were both getting like fucking
brain
5s and 6s this week.
Yeah.
I thought we were both getting 6s this week, to be honest.
Not, mate.
Okay, so, but that's it. We did it. Solid weekend overall. Most people, like I said, we didn't go any lower than a 5 this weekend. I feel like most people drove pretty well this week. And like I said, massive shout outs to opinion.
Whoa.
Has helped keep, just like at Monaco, just like what for the constructors, it's not just the Kogo show. I think that's what's awesome to see, is that's like it's not just the Kogo show. Like Great Ace is also, he's right there. He's keeping McLaren in the fight. So good on him. But that's it, folks, for this one. Next time, we'll be doing the reverse track at Austria.
Golden's little bitch, allegedly.
Is Austria reverse, which will be, man, I'm loving it. I don't know about you, Golden, but I'm loving the season so far. I feel like we're actually having a banger of a season so far. I'm very excited to see how this progresses.
Bloody mental, mate.
Yeah, especially with a reverse, like it's our first track in a league race. I feel like some people are definitely going to need to get their practice in, or else they're going to be thrown for a loop with this one.
And it's also a sprint, so even better.
Oh no, it's actually not a sprint.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we've cut it back from 4 sprints to 3 sprints. So yeah, this is actually just a regular race. It's just the reverse Austria. That's all. I feel like that's enough of a fuck around for people, is just dealing with a reverse track for the first time, because some of these guys have not been playing these reverse tracks at all. And they've been racing this track the normal way for so many years now.
Yeah.
First, they're going to throw them for a loop. So yeah, it'll be. There's definitely going to be some very tight battles at this track. It's hard to pull time on people. From what I've seen in 5-lappers, most 5-lappers I've done at this track have been. I've actually won a couple 5-lappers at this track, but they've been very tight though, because it's just hard to pull away or gain the time, So yeah, it'll be very interesting, and it looks like it's a guaranteed 2-stop. It looks like it's a guaranteed 2-stop race, so strategies are also going to be going wild as well. So I think it'll be a banger. I'm looking forward to it. But anyways, thanks for joining me and Golden, whoever was watching, for another episode of the ALP1 podcast. Join us next time, where we'll be taking on the driver ratings for the Reverse Austria Grand Prix. I'm your host, Adoni Muse, and Golden is Golden.
Yep.
He's Golden.
Still my
best teammate ever.
Wrong.
Best teammate ever.
Paid in Australia was very good.
But yeah, this has been the ALP1 podcast, and we'll see you guys next time for Austria.
Toodaloo, your mothers and your fathers this time, because shout out to everyone who parents a fucking child.